What's going on, everyone? So for the past month, I've been preparing you guys for the pumps and the dumps of Avantis, and for this past week in particular, I've been talking about the dumps. And we just now dumped, like I mentioned we were going to, all the way down to $1, and now it is down 10.6% in the last 24 hours. We got to talk about this. I'm going to talk about where I believe this will come to next. So anyway, stick around to the end of the video. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's get straight into it. So you'll know how we got to start this. Always, we got to break down the numbers first. In the last 24 hours, down 10.6%. In the last 7 days, 14.7%. In the last 14 days, 54.8% down. The trading volume is now at 253 million, and the market cap is now at 262 million. So Avantis has been selling off, but I think we are nearing the end of the sell-off, and it's possible that it could be soon. Remember, I've been talking about 90 cents being that target price, but first we have a few other levels. I mentioned this support that we're at now, $1, because that was solid support back here. So $1 is only right for it to be support again. So that is exactly what happened. I also mentioned in yesterday's video that we have a symmetrical triangle, but it was a bearish symmetrical triangle because it came from a downtrend. So if you're coming from a current downtrend into a symmetrical triangle in trading, we call this a bearish symmetrical triangle. If you're coming into it from a bullish trend, then this would be a bullish symmetrical triangle. But you can see here, we were coming into this symmetrical triangle from a bearish trend, which confirms our bearish trading thesis here. So we seen it, we spot it, and I was like, look, we are coming down below this. It's going to continue to drop out of this. That's exactly what happened. Looking at is a symmetrical triangle, but this is a bearish symmetrical triangle. There you go. Because of where Avant. So yeah, that's what I mentioned there. It was at $1.13 at that point, but I was like, hey guys, this thing's going to keep dumping. Prepare for what's next. And that's exactly how it happened. So anyways, let's talk about what Avantis is going to do next, because they're still doing stuff. They're still editing, they're still updating the project. They're still updating the community. They're doing a lot. So you really can't blame them for dropping like that, because they had such a parabolic run that it's only right for it to pull back a little bit. So you should expect pullbacks like this whenever you have a huge parabolic run like that. But let's kind of go over this. So I do believe it's going to drop some more, guys. Unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, we're going to drop a little bit more. So I'm looking for this to pull back here still to 89 cents / 90 cents. So we're looking for this 90 cent range down here. And that's probably going to end up coming soon. That was solid support here and a little bit of resistance there. So 90 cents is going to be what comes next. That's the next Fibonacci support as well. So that's what we're looking at. And that is when I believe we are bottomed out. I believe we bottom out at 90 cents and at the very least 73 cents down here, this support, because this is the next area where we have, not even support really, but that's where we had some turbulence. We'll call it turbulence because it wasn't really much resistance there. It was like more like turbulence. So that's what we see right there. So at the very lowest 73 cents, but I highly doubt it will go down there. I highly doubt that it will. So what I'm really eyeing here right now is 90 cents, 89 / 90 cents. I'm still eyeing that same level, guys. I still think that it's going to end up hitting that level. If it doesn't, good for Avantis, but if it does, I told you so, right? Now on the MACD here for the 2-hour chart, you can still see it almost looks like the selling pressure is just now starting to cook up. And that's why I can also still see this going down to 90 cents. And that's why I say there's a possibility for us to do 73 cents. There's a possibility for 73 cents. Remember that. It's a possibility. Is it probably going to happen? Probably not. But there is a possibility, and you can see that in the MACD. If this thing just started going crazy with even more selling pressure, like something like we had back here, oh yeah, for sure, we're going down to 73 cents. But right now, with the way that it's selling off, if it looks similar to this, that should only bring us down to 89 / 90 cents. So that's what we're looking for right now inside of Avantis. On the 2-hour chart, you can also see on the %R trend exhaustion, the trend is pretty much over exhausted to the downside. The blue line down here is the long-term trend. Notice how it's curving downwards here. and also the short-term trend coming down here as well. When they both come down here and meet and squeeze, they should increase. It should increase. It should go up, but it doesn't always happen that way, obviously, because the indicators, you can't fully rely on indicators. You gotta have some smarts in there too. But anyways, pulling up the 4-hour chart, same thing. Percent R trend exhaustion trying to squeeze there on the bottom. We're about to have a nice pump, guys. Let me tell you that. I know all this bearish stuff might scare people, but we are about to have a very nice pump in Avantis. It's just, are you going to be willing to, stomach it out? Like, you've already stomached it out, so you might as well. So just look out for 90 cents. If you're going to accumulate, I would say 90 cents. Even if it pulls back to 73 cents, I wouldn't be worried. I would still be trying to accumulate at 90, because if it drops to 73, it'll probably be an immediate pump all the way back up almost immediately. But I don't think it's going to go down to 73 cents again. There's a possibility, but I'm leading like 90, like almost like 80, let's say 70% to the upside, right? 70% sure. But there's still that 30% chance that it could go to 73 cents, right? So we're still eyeing 90 cents, but possible for 73 cents. Only like a 30% chance in my personal opinion, 30%. But remember, the market doesn't care about your personal opinion. So, there could be a possibility that it could go a little bit lower. But yeah, we see the selling volume just cooking up here on the MACD for the 4-hour chart as well. We can come over here and look at the hourly chart. And, you can see that selling pressure is very prevalent amongst really all the charts. And we're seeing another red candlestick kind of forming up here, almost confirming that we're going to be coming down here to 90 cents / 89. I say 89 because that's technically where the Fibonacci is. So yeah. Anyways, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. This has been a long time coming. We've definitely been expecting the market to do this. We've been expecting this drop, and I've been eyeing 90 cents for a long time now. But it's only right because when I first made the call for Avantis, it was all the way back here, like somewhere around the 70 cents range, somewhere around here. I made the call for it, started pumping, and it was a really good call. But now we're pulling right back down to the same range. So if you benefited from all this on the way up, good job for you. If you locked in your profits, good job. But if you didn't lock in your profits, take this as a lesson. When you see massive gains, you lock in profits. Don't sell the whole thing. Just sell a little bit of it. You have 1,000 coins, sell like 200 coins and get some profit out of that. Me personally, I have a philosophy where if I go up 20%, I might just sell the whole thing and wait for a small pullback. Like, for instance, if I were into this trade right now, and this is kind of what I'm doing right now inside of the stock market, like I got to check my options right now. But look, if I were right here and I bought all the way down here at 90 cents, I would be looking to get out once we hit this resistance up here at $1.16. That's 28%. But then look, when we pull back down to here, now we're down 15%. Now I'm getting right back in. Why am I getting back in? Because I know if I get back in, I can just buy right back in down there at $1. And then I could now benefit from this. And I would probably end up riding this out until it gets up here, but I'd probably end up selling down here because I get scared quickly. So it'd be like 33%. And then boom, I probably would have sold out there. And then I probably would have ended up missing all this, yes. But I would have let all this noise happen. And then I would have let it pull down. Then I would be watching the same way I'm doing now. And then I would be getting in. So yes, I only made 60%, right? Yes, I only made 60%. But I protected myself from losing those gains. A lot of people did not sell up here. They lost their gains. I'm fine with 60% because look, I made the call around here, right? Somewhere around this level. Oh, that's a Fibonacci. Let's take this. Yeah, I made it somewhere around this level, right? If I were to sell at the top, which you're never ever going to be able to do, that would have been 191%. Typically, you probably find a exit range around this point, like 130, 140%, around $2.14, which would be cool. But I'd rather 100% lock in 60% than possibly lock in 140%. You see where I'm going with this? I'd rather be for sure definite that I'm locking in 60% rather than possibly getting 100%, 130. So that's just how I think, and that's just how I see things. But anyways, like I said, get ready. 90 cents coming pretty soon. Yeah, and that's just, it just is what it is. It is what it is. And like I was mentioning before, guys, you can do this in stocks. You can do this in crypto. Like currently right now, SoFi, I held it overnight. So it went up 15% overnight. And I actually was able to get that, but I got it in on options. So since I was doing options, I had made way more than what I would have made, just doing shares. And then I let it pull it down. And then now I'm opening in another contract down here, just so then I can write it right back up. So you can kind of see, how you can do this inside of crypto as well. And actually it just now executed. So that's pretty good. But yeah, anyways, guys, this is too easy. Whenever you're watching, you're paying attention to your charts, learn the art of the technical analysis, guys. This is going to save you in so many instances. Sometimes fundamentals will outweigh the technicals, but the technicals always come back, right? So let's just wait for 89 cents slash 90 cents and be good from there, and possibly 73, possibly. But we'll see when we get down to 89. This is all I got, though. Hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys want me to go over next. And as always, I'll be back with another video.